Alright, hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Kollin at crackedfemalecode at crackedfemalecode.com. Okay, so I'm back, and this video is the second half of the video I uploaded before this. So this video is going to be nothing but tips. It's going to be direct. It's going to pretty much get straight to the point within a minute or two, or probably less than that, almost immediately. And I'm going to give you some step-by-step tips. Now here's the thing. These are going to be different than what you've heard of in the past. It's all about opening you up to your right brain, because this is what attracts women to you. Her mating system is hardwired and designed to be attracted, turned on, and fall in love with men who are in their right brain. Now, without having you coming in and actually taking the course and learning a third core piece of the course, which we will condition into you day after day after day, hour after hour, with a bunch of series of different techniques. The techniques are called internal awareness techniques, and they ground you emotionally and energetically. This is what calms you down, and it draws women to you because it's very comfortable. So without being able to teach that to you in person until you come in and take the coaching, these are other things you can do to give you a very similar effect, if not almost not quite 100%, but it really gets you in that area of being grounded and calmed down. And you'll be surprised not only how much women are drawn to you, but how they're going to want to be with you. Okay, I start this video probably in the last 60 seconds of the last video, so we're continuing it from the very last couple pieces of the last video. So the first tip I'm going to give you, and it's probably going to be in what's coming up, but buy my book, Crack the Female Code. It is important. It'll prepare you for the course. Number one, my point, you are going to learn things from me that you will never learn from Tony Robbins, Dr. John Gray, Men Are From Mars, Pickup Artist Courses, Mystery, any of these people. Your eyes are going to be opened. You will realize, I promise you, I swear this because it happens to every single client that I've worked with. You will go back to looking at those YouTube dating relationship sites and be like, holy shit, they literally don't know what they're talking about. They're giving you nothing. It's a bunch of nothing burgers. It's like two buns with no burger in it. You're like, there's nothing here. As Jesus said, you have eyes and you cannot see. You have ears and you cannot hear. I promise you, your eyes are going to be opened. You will see. Tip number one, and I'm very serious about this, buy my book, Crack the Female Code. It will change your life. Just read it. Tip number one, after you read the book Crack the Female Code, because it is a requirement, then take my course, Crack the Female Code. I have added an extra day. It was a 5-day course, but I realized we were kind of going too fast, shoving too much in. I'm going to add an extra day, and I'm not going to charge you a dime for it. The course is going to stay the same price. Now, normally, when people are from out of the state or far out of the area, they fly in, they stay at a hotel, and then what they'll do is we will do the course back to back, day to day. So it's going to be 6 days, 2 sessions. It's going to be a 4-hour session. So we take about an hour and a half, 2-hour lunch break, and then we come back and do another maybe 3.5-hour sessions. So each day is a little bit different. So about between 3 and 4-hour sessions each. If you live in the area, we can break it down pretty much any way you want. You can come and do it for on the weekend, 2 days in a row. We'll do 2 sessions per day. And then you could come back, say, a couple days later, and we'll do 1 session after you get off of work. And then maybe on Friday we'll do the same thing. And then on the weekend we'll do back to back. So we can be flexible when it comes to the one-on-one coaching, especially if you live in the area, or if you're willing to fly back to complete it. Okay, so now let's get to some actual tips. These will not be the typical tips you get from dating coaches, I promise you. All right, let's go. All right, so, oh yeah, by the way, the dates are opening up around, because right now I am booked, unless you are an evening person. If you're a night person, right now is a good time. Otherwise, I'm booked. So For one-on-one coaching for the 5-day trainings, whether we do it or 5 or 6 days in a row, or we do, kind of break it up a little bit, that is going to be opening, especially in the mornings, at the end of August, probably the first week of, I'm going to have to look at my calendar, but about the first week of September, okay? All the way through September, I will be able to fit you in. I'm also going to do a training for a group of men, up to 5, maybe 10 men at a time. That's going to be approximately starting at I haven't set the date yet, but about the 7th of September, okay? And that's going to be a 5 or 6 day training. You get the same training as you do on the one-on-one. The only difference is you're in a group, but you do save a lot of money, okay? If you guys are interested, call my landline. I have a cell phone, but I like to work through my landline. It's 415-747-8598. 415-747-8598. All right, here is a dating tip, literally for dates, okay? If you're going to take a girl out to dinner, let's say, or to the movies, or wherever, okay, to a club, eat food. Now, here's why. Let me read this off. So I'm going to say this first. Remember, the female mating system is looking for a male who's open to the right brain, okay? When you are starving yourself, when you're hungry, your brain begins to shut down. Technically, there's an artery in the lower reptilian brain. When it notices you don't have enough glucose or glycogen in the bloodstream, it narrows and thus cuts you off from your right brain. So what happens is her mating system is wired to and designed to look for men that are in their right brain. The right brain is the abundance brain. So when you are hungry, it narrows the artery, which lessens the blood in the human brain, which now shoves you into the left brain and the lower reptilian brain. That is the survival brain. When her mating system sees that you're in survival, it means, oh, you are not a good mate. Now, am I saying that she logically sees that? Consciously? No, it's just a feeling she has. Yeah, I'm not attracted to this guy. I'm turned off for some reason. Now, she doesn't really know why. She might justify it and make up reasons, but she really doesn't know why. All she knows is, yeah, I'm just not into you. All right, so I'm going to read what I wrote. I want to make sure I catch every point here. So eat food before your date. Do not be hungry. It shifts you into your logical survival brain. This is why it turns a woman's mating system off. Her mating system is looking for a guy who is in the abundance system, which is the right brain system, because her mating system wants to make sure that you can provide food for her and her child when she's 6 months, 9 months pregnant, and when she has the child, and the child is 1 month or 9 months or 12 months or 2 years old. You can only operate, you can only operate off of it if you have abundance of oxygen and glycogen, which means you have to have food in you. Otherwise, you shift over into your survival system, okay? And once you're there, well, she gets turned off. Another thing we're going to do, which is one of my tips, we'll say this is the next tip, is you need to do deep breathing techniques, okay? So on the last point about eating food, I talked about that lower reptilian brain. Now here's what I didn't say. It actually has a sensor. I call it an oxygen sensor because it is. But it also senses, number one, oxygen. It also senses glycogen, okay? Which you get from food when food breaks down. If you've studied the Krebs cycle in college, you know what I'm talking about. Everything breaks down to the lowest level. Sorry, I had to cough there. So just like a car, that artery in the lower reptilian brain literally has a sensor. It's an oxygen sensor and a glycogen sensor. So if you're not breathing deeply, guess what? It senses very little oxygen or not enough oxygen in the bloodstream. And when it senses that, it narrows the artery to keep the most of the blood in your muscles and in your heart area so you can be strong, so you can run faster and fight, okay? That's why the lower reptilian brain is called the fight or flight system. And that's what controls that artery, your reptilian brain. Same thing with it when it notices in your bloodstream, because it has another sensor that says, hey, you're very low on glycogen, and so it's going to narrow it for that too. So if you're not breathing and eating food, well, you're going to be put into your survival system, which means you're not very intelligent, and you're not using the abundance brain, which is the right brain, which triggers her to want to have sex with you. It turns her on, literally. Now, here's the thing, that artery, when it senses that you are relaxed, the artery itself will relax and open up, and this is a good thing. So oxygen and food open the artery, okay? The third thing that opens it up is relaxation. When you're relaxed, your muscles loosen up and blood can flow through a lot more freely and a lot easily, so it can feed your muscles and your brain. And again, what do all of these things do? They open you up to the right brain system. This is the higher functioning system. The left brain is not the higher system. It's one of the lower systems. It's the second lowest. The men who get ahead are men who have learned how to open up to their right brain. That's why some men, you're like, wait, I'm better than them at this job, but they go up the chain of command or up the ladder in the corporate world fast. Because it's the social brain. The right brain is the social brain. This is the brain you use to get along with other people. If you're not in that brain, you're not going to get moved ahead because they don't like you. More importantly, because you can't communicate on both the left and right brain level. You have to be able to do that because leaders need to be able to communicate with the left brain people and right brain people. If you can't do this, you don't move ahead. The other reason is leaders need to see the bigger picture. They need to understand abstract information and put the pieces together, which is a right brain function. The left brain can't do that. It's really good at focusing on one piece of the puzzle, and that's it. That's very limited. The left brain literally is the limited mind. So when Tony Robbins is talking about being unlimited and opening up to the limited mind, or Think and Grow Rich, and I'm trying to think of another book that uses those terms, they're talking about opening up to your right brain. Now, let's say you've got a date. I almost forgot this about the food part. So here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you want to eat a full meal before you go on a date, but a lot of guys think, well, we're going to leave in 10 minutes to go to the restaurant. But the problem is you got to drive 10 minutes, or you got to pick her up and then go to the restaurant. So now that's 15, 20 minutes. You got to find parking. That's another 5 minutes. You got to walk to the restaurant. That's another 1 minute or 2 minutes. And then the waitress or the hostess says, oh, what's your name? And they put your name down. Now you got to wait another 4 or 5 minutes, maybe even up to 10 minutes or longer. So now all of a sudden you were kind of grumbling and hungry, and now another 45 minutes or even 30 minutes has gone by, and now you're really hungry. Now you're locked into that linear system, and focused and logic, and you're turning her off. Now, how do I know this? Because once I started opening up, and I became very aware of how much more comfortable women were around me, how they enjoyed talking to me, and how comfortable I was talking to them, I began to notice whenever I'd go on dates with women, it's like I would blow it. And I'm like, fuck, what am I doing wrong? And it's like, oh shit, dude, you were totally in your forehead, stuck energy. You were logical, locked down, forehead to forehead. And that's just making her uptight as fuck. And I just noticed, like, I don't understand, like, what am I doing wrong? And someone goes, you need to eat before you go to a freaking restaurant. If you're hungry, you need to eat something. So what I would do is make like a protein shake, or eat some piece of meat or something, like maybe like, I don't know, 4 or 5 pieces of salami and a piece of cheese, just a little something to kind of get you by. Now, I'm not saying you got to eat a full course meal before you go out to dinner with your date, but you do got to get some food in you, because I'm telling you, you think it's only a 10-minute drive to the restaurant, but then you gotta wait to be sat down. You got to this, you got to that, and then you order the food, and you got to wait another 10 minutes. I forgot about that part. So all of a sudden, 40 minutes have gone by, and you're like, man, I'm freaking hungry, and now you're talking to her, and you're acting like an animal. And you're in survival mode, and she just is getting turned off. The more you talk, the more you laser beam her, because your forehead and your eyes get all kind of panicky. Like, they tighten down is what they do. All right, let's go back to relaxation. Now, I'm going to give you some things you can do to develop and learn how to relax. It's really, see, one thing men don't do, they just want to go faster and faster and get more and more uptight, and lift weights and do push-ups and sit-ups, but they never learn how to relax. A lot of guys, the only problem they have is they're just so fucking uptight. They don't know how to slow down and relax around a woman. Like, look at this picture. Do you think he's going fast? Like, no, this is a warm, soft, sensual moment. If you want to kiss a woman, hug a woman, make love to a woman, you need to slow down. You need to be in the present moment. Now, let me give you some tools that will bring you into the present moment before you learn my internal awareness techniques in the course. All right, so this is my main one. though it's technically number 4 on this list, this really, other than food and breathing deep, this is number 1. So we'll call this number 1 on the relaxation list. One thing Tony Robbins said, and he kind of quieted the crowd. He goes, look, I'm going to teach you the most important thing. He goes, out of everything I've taught you, none of that will matter if you don't do this one thing. You have to become the master of making you feel good. You have to master the art of learning how to make yourself feel good. He goes, if you're not feeling good, you're not going to deal with your customers well. If you're not feeling good, you're not going to want to go jogging. You're not going to want to read that book. You're not going to do the shit you want to do. He goes, and you're going to struggle. He goes, get really good at learning how to make yourself good. Most people, they drink beer, they drink alcohol, they smoke weed, they smoke a cigarette, they drink coffee. You know, they do these external things. Now, what I'm talking about is internal things. If your only way of making yourself good is by reaching for something external like a pill or an alcohol or a smoke, or you're never really going to find true happiness. You're never going to learn how to develop it inside you. Number 1 is deep tissue massage. Tony Robbins said, he goes, and I know because I actually did this. I had a massage therapist as a client. Her and her husband were on the verge of divorce, and I just taught her a couple things: predicate system, deep love strategy, and that's really what it was. And then we worked on an issue they had in communication, and boom, they were super happy. We set some anchors and did a couple other things. She called me up about a week later and said, hey, I want to thank you. I'm like, oh, you're welcome. And she had already paid me. And she goes, I want to give you a free massage. I'm like, what? She goes, I want to give you 10 free massages, 1 a week for the next 10 weeks. I'm like, why? And I kept saying, no, you know, that's okay. You don't have to go out of your way to do. She goes, Michael, you have no idea. She goes, I was so worried. We were literally about to file for divorce. She goes, Michael, you saved our marriage, blah, 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 blah. So long story short, I got a deep tissue 1.5-hour massage every week. And let me tell you something. Tony Robbins said to do this, it will change your life. And it did. I started to finally reconnect with my body and feel my feelings and feel my emotions and sense the world. It had a huge shift. And here's what happened. So this is about the 4th or 5th massage. I forget which one. And I was going to go to San Francisco and go with my friends. And we went to the Matrix and stuff. And all of a sudden, man, I was talking to women. But now before this, I was fucking uptight. I was fucking nervous. Like you could not fucking imagine. I was the most stressed out dude when it came to talking to women, approaching women, opening conversations. I just couldn't do it. I would just basically, be all nervous and shit. And I'd have I used to put a 3x5 card in my back pocket on techniques I was going to use and things I was going to practice. Well, this night, I didn't give a fuck. Now, I didn't know why, and I didn't even think about it, but I just walked in, and I didn't even try to start a conversation. I bought a beer, and I just was, I'm going to enjoy myself. I like the music, talk to the bouncer a little bit. And next thing you know, two really cute girls walked up, and they held my arm. Oh, hi, and they started talking to me, blah, blah, blah. And my buddies were blown away. I was blown away, and I didn't freaking understand it. They gave me their number. I was like, holy shit, I didn't even freaking try. And then about 10 minutes later, another beautiful blonde girl walks up, starts talking to me, and I'm thinking, what is going on? I guess this is just my lucky night. Here's the deal. I did not make the connection yet. I went back a week later, and again, I scheduled the deep tissue massage before, and I was really mellow, and I went to the club, and I'm just hanging out, and I'm starting to just really feel the vibe. I'm just feeling good. And again, girls would walk up, they would talk to me, and then another one, and my buddies were like, what's your fucking deal? I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know. I'm the same person, same haircut, same body, same shirts, same everything. Now, here's what men do. Our dumbasses, okay, I normally say your dumbass brain. Now, it's me too. I used to be this way. We are born using our left brain. That's the external brain. It values things on the outside, such as money, gold, diamond rings, things you can hold in your hand, right? Or your hair, getting a haircut, or washing your car, or getting your car painted, buying chrome rims, waxing your car, buying a button-up t-shirt, bench pressing and looking good on the outside. You look good on the... See, the outside's when you look at a woman's ass, her tits, her cute smile. Women hate that. They like it when you look on the inside. And you're like, what does that mean? Well, I'll teach that to you in the course. So we were born using our left brain, the external brain. And when it comes to relationships, especially with women, our left brain betrays us. It convinces us it's about your looks, it's about your height, it's about your muscles, it's about your chrome rims, it's about getting your car painted, about fixing it up, making it look good. Guys, to this day, I kid you fucking not, I drive around a 1995 Honda Del Sol. It's the paint is eaten up on the back and on the roof and on the sides. It has the same exact original rims it came with. It's just a cheap damn car. I pick up women all the time. So here my dumbass is going to the clubs way back in the day, and I'm, getting these massages, and the second time I'm leaning up against the wall and girls are walking up, and my buddy's like, dude, like, what's your deal? This is like, why does this keep happening? I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know. I mean, it's the same shirt, it's the same haircut. I'm the same person with the same eyes, the same color hair, the same height, the same muscles. Everything's the same. Because the external, your looks, doesn't fucking matter. What changed was inside, I was feeling good. I was mellow. I was relaxed. I had a deep tissue massage. If you haven't had a long deep tissue massage, you got to do it. Don't get just one. Get one every 5 days, about once a week, at least 3 times, because that's when you start to notice, because your body's been so uptight for so long, you forgot all the feelings that you normally would have and how comfortable it would be. Number 2, acupuncture with a really good acupuncturist, not someone who doesn't know what they're doing. You need to go in and tell them you want to relax, and I think they're going to say, do you have anxiety? Because I think legally, in order to work on you, you have to say that. So just say, yeah, I have anxiety. Okay, tell them you want to relax your head and relax your body. And I went to Dr. Chen, and I will tell you, it does matter which one you go to. Dr. Chen was really, really good. He knew what he was doing, and he mellowed me the fuck out. I was like, holy, like my brain turned off. There was no thinking. It was just nothingness, clarity. And I was feeling my body. Man, did it feel good. He even said, he goes, don't talk with your girlfriend. Go to the beach or go to a park, lay in the grass for about an hour or two. Don't do anything. Don't talk. Let me tell you something, for about 2 days, maybe 2.5, I was fucking mellow. Here's the thing though, I started to tighten up again, but that's how we did it. So the first 2 weeks, you go 3 times. So let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You're kind of starting to tighten up again, but then does it again, and it loosens you back up. Okay, and then 2 days later, you do it again, it loosens you back up. This is a conditioning thing. Well, so I went there by myself. It was on Friday. It was in San Francisco on Noriega Street off of 19th Avenue in San Francisco. And then I went to a club afterwards, and I actually went to dinner. I went to the Thai house on I think it's Larkspur, if I remember right. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And then I went to a club at about 9:30, started talking to the bouncer, and man, I was fucking mellow. And you just feel so comfortable, man. Everything's loose, everything's relaxed, and when you're like that, you can talk to people a lot easier. So Dr. Chen would do this for the first 2 weeks, 3 times per week. The next 2 weeks, it was 2 times per week, and then he would do it once a week for 3 weeks after. If you can't afford that, then just get in there and do it 3 times, maybe 2 times the first week, and then 1 time the next week, and hopefully 1 more time the next week, just to get the experiences of mellowing it out. Because when I mellowed out like that, or when I did the deep tissue massage, by the 5th or 6th massage, I was just loose, man. I was much more mellow. The reason why it's important to do it more than once, because sometimes when you do it 1 time, like, you might be mellow, but you won't be conscious of it. But when you do it again and again, you start noticing, like, man, I'm like totally talking to people different, interacting different, responding differently. It shows you there's a better way, there's a different way. So once again, I went to the club after acupuncture, and sure enough, guess what happened? Yep, girl after girl wanted to talk to me. Now here's the point. I wasn't different. I wasn't special. I was just relaxed. My point being is, it wasn't me being special. Oh, I'm the cool guy. It was just being mellow. And here's the thing, anyone can learn how to do that. So that became my go-to. I knew I was going to do this series of acupuncture visits, so then I made sure I scheduled them on Friday. And every time I went out, man, I was mellowed out, and it was easy to meet women. So here's the one thing I learned. Getting jacked up and getting all fired up and talking fast, that is an absolute no-go. So energy pills, caffeine, energy drinks, or Red Bull in a mixed drink, that's a no-go. I'm telling you, it's not going to help you. Now here's the deal. What I'm going to do when you come in, we are going to teach you internal awareness techniques, okay? Because what these do is they emotionally ground you, which is much more powerful than a deep tissue massage or acupuncture or any of those things. There's a series of techniques we're going to walk you through, and it's going to create an energy field, if you call it that, or an emotion or feeling of relaxation and clarity that women are drawn to. So what I would like before you take the course is to do at least a couple deep tissue massages, at least go to an acupuncturist 2 or 3 times, kind of get an idea of what relaxation is, because when you do that, when you come into the course, it'll help you to be a little bit further along so we can open you up and relax you even more during the course, because otherwise it's kind of a tough thing. We're shifting you from one extreme to the other that can be kind of harsh on your system. Number 3, breathing. You can learn deep breathing techniques that will help you to oxygenate your system. It's really, really important. I will teach you those when you come in and take the course. Okay, for now, here's one thing you can do. I'm going to teach you 2 quick ones. Number 1, just breathing in your nose in a relaxed manner and filling up your lungs, and then holding your breath comfortably for about 7 to 10 seconds. Then each time you do it afterwards, make it 12 seconds, and then 15, then 18, and then just do it to 18 to 20 seconds. What you'll notice is if you do it for 20 or 30 reps, that the diaphragm muscle will stretch and stretch, and then it relaxes, and all of a sudden you can take the deepest breath. Another one I began to notice was some men don't breathe deep while they're talking to women. So when she is talking, take a deep breath or a medium breath in your nose, and then hold it for about 3 seconds or 4, and then breathe it out. Now you don't have to be that obvious, but just kind of breathe out. You'll be surprised how you can take deep breaths and hold it for a long time. People don't even notice. Now here's the deal. When you breathe while she's talking, it unconsciously gets her to start breathing deeper as you go along, okay? And then the other thing it does, it relaxes you. So while you're breathing, it causes her to unconsciously start breathing deeper and deeper, and now she's relaxing with you and making that emotional connection with you that she feels comfortable with you. Another one that you can do, something you can do to make yourself better, is stretching. Stretch for a minimum of 20 minutes every day. And do deep breathing. So when you're going to do the stretch, take a deep breath or medium breath at least, and then stretch forward and kind of reach to touch your toes. Don't force it. Don't pull anything. Hold the breath for about 10 seconds, and then again, the next time 12, next time 15, until you can hold the stretch in the breath for about 18 to 20 seconds, and then breathe it out and kind of stretch a little bit forward, a little more as you're pushing the air out. If you stretch like this for an honest 20 minutes, where you actually do 20 minutes and not 7 minutes and say it's 20, you will feel so relaxed. One of the things I used to do when I was going to clubs in the early days when I was really nervous is I would do like a dry sauna or a hot tub for about 15 minutes or whatever it was, and then I would stretch for at least 30 plus minutes and do this deep breathing, hold the breath and stretch for 20 seconds and let it out. And I would do that for a minimum of 30 minutes, and man, when I went to the clubs, I was mellowed out. Okay, number 5, eat before you go out. Eat protein, okay? Chicken, steak, complex carbs, like a burrito would be good, or a steak, and maybe some potatoes or asparagus or salad or something, but eat and have plenty of protein in you, okay? You don't have to overdo it, but don't go starving. Just make sure you eat. Because again, what's it going to do? It's going to relax you. That oxygen sensor and the glycogen sensor is going to go, okay, he's got plenty of oxygen, he's got plenty of glycogen. He's good to go. Open the artery. Now your whole body relaxes. See, when you open it, see, the left brain is the uptight brain. The right brain is the peripheral system, which means your body loosens up, your muscles loosen up, it relaxes you. Just like this girl, like we went to the Thai house in San Francisco, and we got some chicken, whatever, and spinach, and sauce and all this stuff. I wasn't hungry. This girl literally crawled right into my lap because I was just relaxed. I wasn't like talking fast and staring her down and looking at her and locking on. I wasn't in desperation hunger mode. Wasn't doing the Hunger Games. And she just felt comfortable. I didn't ask her. I didn't even look at her. She literally put her hand around my back and just climbed into my lap. Now, I never knew this girl from Adam and Eve. We sat down, we talked to him for about 10 minutes or so, maybe 12 minutes, and boom, she's climbing in my lap. Now, just because I say, relaxation is really important, I don't mean to talk super slow and be like this. That's not what I mean. You talk at a normal, resonant, normal tempo voice, okay? Versus talking really fast and being like this and taking hyperventilating breaths, really short breaths. See, I'm just talking about just be mellow, be resonant. You breathe deep, man. Women, see, when you are comfortable, women feel safe. When you're in the other system, it literally scares the crap out of them. It also scares animals and deer. When you're relaxed, even animals will come up to you. They'll feel comfortable. I'm not kidding. Whether it's a squirrel, whether it's a deer, whether it's even girls, they just feel comfortable to be around you. They feel safe, and it feels good. When you're uptight, it doesn't feel good to be around that. Here's the thing that a lot of you guys don't understand. When you feel good, when she comes around you, she feels good. Okay, let's go number 6, internal awareness techniques. Another way of saying this is being emotionally grounded. All of these things I'm teaching you leads you in the direction of being emotionally grounded. The number one thing a woman is looking for is a man who's emotionally grounded. It means you're calm, you're relaxed, it's like going acupuncture or meditation. You have no thoughts, but when you're thinking, you're stuck up in your head. That's the opposite of being emotionally grounded. That's irritating energy. It ping pong. Girls do not like to ping pong. They like to feel calm and relaxed. This is how they connect with you. So the internal awareness techniques show you different ways to calm your energy down inside. It clears your mind. It completely silences your mind when you do it right. When you're truly emotionally grounded, your heart, the energy, instead of being anxious or nervous or going fast and ping-ponging in your chest or your brain, there's nothingness. It's just completely gone. This will make you the John Wick of dating, relationships, and pickup. This is the next level. It'll take some work, but it's worth it. Click subscribe and then go to crackthefemalecode.com and buy my book, Crack the Female Code. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.